Hello, Magic lovers. Welcome back. I'm sorry I haven't been uploading a lot lately. I've been extremely busy. So let's get on with it. I want to teach you one of my favorite effects of all time. It's my go-to. It is if somebody asks me to perform a trick, this is one of the ones that I would instantly go to. It's very hard hitting. And before we get started, let's go ahead and give it a little bit of a shuffle. One of the things that I love about this trick in particular is it is one of those effects that you don't need a setup or anything like that. You can truly have the cards be shuffled if you'd like. And that's one of the great things about it. You can even give the cards to the spectator and have them shuffle if you'd like to. So let's go ahead, give this deck a couple of overhand shuffles. Nothing in particular, and let's get it started. As a matter of fact, I think we'll do this here and spread the cards out, and I'll just have someone say pick a random card. Let's say they stick one out, let's say that one, right? It doesn't matter what it is that they choose. So in this example, we'll be using the 7 of spades. Very nice. That card is then see how I can do this here. Let's say we do it like this. We'll just have that card shoved somewhere in the middle of the deck, and then we'll give it a couple of cuts, and we'll give it a shuffle, losing that card somewhere into the middle of the deck, and of course cut to complete everything. So now here's what we do. I like to always tell a little story with this, which I'll leave that up to your imagination, but I'm going to tell you my version, my story here. I was once performing a card trick for my wife. My wife then took the cards from me, and she took them and she said, "Oh yeah, if you're such a good magician," flipping the cards from right side up to right side down over and over and over, so all the cards became a mixed up mess. She said, "If you're such a good magician, then you should be able to perform a magic trick with all the cards completely mixed up." So I looked through and I saw that some were face up, some were face down, some were face down, some were face up, some were back to back, front to back. It's a horrible condition. I then took the cards and told her to put them in her hand. And I asked her, what was the card that you chose? And she says, it was the 7 of spades. And I say, oh, okay. What if I told you all the cards are now back in the correct order except for one card? She then looks through the cards, saying that all the cards are in the correct position. All the cards are in the right position except for one, the 7 of spades. Now, this happens to be one of my favorite tricks of all time. So let's get into the tutorial on how this is performed. So this is what is known as the slop shuffle. Slop shuffle is a very old technique. As a matter of fact, I have some historical information on that. Let me grab that. Be right back. And I believe that somewhere in these pages I have written down, here it is. The slop shuffle was first invented by Sid Lorraine. Okay, which I wanted to give credit for this one because it's definitely one of my favorites of all time. And how this works is it's actually pretty cool. It's kind of a misdirection thing, right? It's something that happens in between pretty quickly. So this is what's going on here. Let's down to business. Okay, so we're going to take that card and we're going to place it somewhere in the middle, just like I did in the video. And all I'm doing here is I'm controlling it via a thumb break. So I catch a thumb break as I push the card in, transfer it to the pinky, of course. Then I do a double undercut. And then from here, you can do whatever else you want, but we want to get that card controlled to the bottom. Now, I could have done that just as easily, but I want to do, for example, I could have controlled that card directly to the bottom, but I like to throw in a little extra something, something. So a little overhand shuffle right here, just like so. Controlling that one single card to the bottom is what you want, just like that. Now, once you get to this point, you are in like Flynn, because the next part is the slop shuffle. The slop shuffle is going to be you spread over a group of cards. Let's say, in this case, 5 or 6 cards. You flip them over. Just continue to spread. So, mixture of cards, flip over, and you just kind of want to do this as you're talking and make it really seem like you're mixing everything up until you get to the last card. Once you get to the last card, you flip everything and place it on top, like so. And then you like to hold it out like this. It makes it look like everything really is kind of mixed up and jumbled up. You square up, and then you present. If you look here, there's actually a nice little gap in between where the reverse card is. So what you're going to be doing here is cutting under that break that's naturally there and showing that you have some are face up and some are face down. You're going to cut above that natural break. Some are face down, some are face up. Then you're going to cut exactly at the break, which is very easy, because if you see here, the card is perfectly. You see, because we have some cards that are literally this entire half here. Of course, if you remember correctly, your card is face down on the top. So you're actually in this position where you have all face up cards and all face down cards. But they don't know that. It looks to them as if everything has been mixed up. And you have your chosen card on top. So once you're at that natural break itself and you lift at that point, and you turn your hand over like this to show that you have some cards are faced it down, some cards are back to back, and then I like to add face to face, back to back. You get it, and that little line right there just makes them think that you're just displaying how mixed up the deck is. So I'm gonna go right here, cut at the break, exactly at the break. It's very easy. You show both hands, and now instead of turning it back over like this, we just throw it all together and say, give me your hand. Place the cards in your hand, and at this point you're completely set because everything is done. Everything is now back to this position. Now I first like to sometimes place the cards face up like this in their hands, say cover it over, whatever, or like this, but then have them spread in the opposite direction. Now every once in a while it'll happen that they'll spread through the cards like this and not see that reverse card. All right, so I'm gonna go through, they didn't see it, because sometimes spectators don't know how to spread cards as well as we do. So sometimes they'll spread through, just not even catch that, or just kind of block spread through it and not see it. When that happens, do take advantage of it. You say, okay, now that all the cards are in the correct orientation, the correct position, you ask, what was your card? Of course, you either already know or it doesn't even matter, right? Whatever card they chose. Let's say they chose, for example, the 7 of spades, as we did here. You then, at that point, say, watch, and then you take the cards and flip them over. Say, in that action of flipping the cards over, I reversed all the cards except for, and as you spread through, you show them their card. Now they're going to be looking, oh, what's going on? No, everything's normal. Completely normal deck. So that is the tutorial, and I am so glad to be back with you guys. I have one question though, and I'll want you guys to maybe leave a comment. And I'm wondering if anybody knows how I was able to predict what card is chosen. And maybe you'll see what I mean.
Magic lovers, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.